The 9 best round 1 matches to watch at Wimbledon: Raducanu, Eala, Gauff and Fonseca. The Wimbledon men's and women's singles draws have been made, and there are plenty of enticing opening round matches for tennis fans to dig their teeth into. From established names and Grand Slam champions to the hottest prospects on the ATP and WTA tours, there are plenty of enticing matches set for Monday and Tuesday. Here, we look at 9 of the best round 1 matches to watch at the All England Club. Steffi Graf and Marketa Vondrousova are the only defending women's singles champions to lose in round 1 at Wimbledon, and Krejcikova will be hoping to avoid following in their footsteps. The Czech is the lowest-seeded defending champion of the Open era and has struggled with injuries throughout 2025, and an opening round test against Eala is not easy. Eala has just reached the first WTA Tour final of her career on the grass courts of Eastbourne and will be the first Filipina to play a main draw match at SW19. Joao Fonseca vs Jacob Fearnley. When an all-unseeded clash is scheduled on Court 1, you know there is plenty to be excited about. It has been a whirlwind 12 months for home favorite Fearnley, who is now established inside the top 100 of the ATP rankings after making his Grand Slam debut at this event back in 2024. However, he faces a stern test against Brazilian teen star Fonseca, with the 18-year-old beating the Brit in Indian Wells, and keen to impress on his Wimbledon debut. Emma Raducanu vs Mimi Su. 4 years ago, Raducanu was a wild card into the main draw at Wimbledon and ultimately the tournament's big breakout star. Now, the shoe is on the other foot. The 22-year-old finds herself up against British wildcard Mimi Su, with the 17-year-old making her Grand Slam main draw debut at the All England Club. This is a match that Raducanu should win, but all eyes will be on her fitness, and what potential rising star Su can show when the compatriots meet out on Court 1. 5th seed Fritz thrives on grass courts and is a 2-time Wimbledon quarter-finalist, though his draw at this year's tournament is full of potential stumbling blocks. That starts with a dangerous opening round contest versus Mpetshi Perricard, who reached the 4th round as a lucky loser 12 months ago. The Frenchman's form has been shaky in 2025, though, if he can get his serve firing, he could cause the US number 1 some significant problems. Diana Yastremska vs. Coco Gauff. Fresh off her second Grand Slam singles triumph at the French Open, what impact can world number 2 Gauff have at Wimbledon this year? The US star is among the big favorites but has been handed a tough draw against Ukrainian Yastremska, who pushed Gauff all the way when they faced off in Madrid back in April. Yastremska was the Nottingham Open runner-up last week and has the game on grass to cause anyone problems. Gaël Monfils vs. 18, Hugo Humbert. 6 years ago, Monfils and Humbert met in round 1 of Wimbledon, with the latter rallying from 2 sets down and saving match points before his opponent's retirement in the decider. Now, French number 2 Humbert and veteran Monfils once again face off, in one of the trickiest opening round matches to call in the men's singles draw. Monfils has put on eye-catching displays at both Grand Slam tournaments this year, while Humbert has struggled to rediscover his best form in 2025. Wimbledon news. Wimbledon men's singles draw: Djokovic, Sinner, Draper all in top half, Alcaraz handed Kinder draw. Wimbledon women's singles draw: Gauff and Swiatek bottom quarter, Raducanu faces Brit, Eala against reigning champion. WC, Petra Kvitova vs. 10, Emma Navarro. Kvitova announced before the draw was made that this would be her final appearance at the tournament, though the draw gods have not been kind to the 2-time former champion. The Czech, who has struggled since returning from maternity leave earlier this year, has been handed a test versus 10th seed Navarro, who beat Gauff at this event back in 2024. Navarro herself has not been at her best throughout 2025, and will look to move on from a heavy opening round defeat at Roland Garros last month. Lerner Tien vs Nishesh Basaverdi. 2 of the hottest prospects in US men's tennis, Tien and Basaverdi will face off in tour-level action for the first time in the opening round of action at SW19. It is world number 67 Tien who has achieved the more eye-catching and significant results of the two so far, with wins over the likes of Daniil Medvedev and Alexander Zverev already this season. However, in the main draw of a Grand Slam by right for the first time, Basaverdi will be eyeing this one up as a significant opportunity. 9. Paula Badosa vs Katie Boulter. Home players have not fared too well in the draw this year, and British number 2 Boulter is among those to have been dealt a tough hand. 9th seed Badosa has reached the second week of Wimbledon 3 times in the past, including in 2024, and was an Australian Open semi-finalist in January. The Spaniard does come in after the recurrence of injury issues in recent months, however, and Boulter may be fueled by a passionate centre court crowd.